So how'd you feel about today's game?
I think that's a good win for us. I mean, that's a good Pac-12 team. Certainly didn't feel like we started the second half the way we wanted to, and they really came at us. Got to get credit to them. They came at us through their outside backs forward, kind of took a high-risk approach there, and benefited from it. But I really like the way our team responded. Gave up the goal to tie it, didn't fall apart, didn't panic, and got the 2 goals back to seal the win. So, again, I think we're still getting better, but this was a good performance for us.
We were kind of wondering why you left Wheatley out there for the second half, but she kind of answered it herself with those nice saves to start off. But what was the decision to leave her for the whole game?
Well, I think a little bit of it is just with, knowing they were coming with pressure and the way that they were playing, trying to keep it on our end. She's got a strong leg in terms of her kicking game, and that was going to be a help for us in the second half of this game with the wind, and just to be able to get the ball out of our end. I think it's still a battle. There's certain things that, Claire does exceptionally well, and strike a ball and serve a ball over distances, one of those, and really felt like we needed that piece of the equation tonight. Michelle still does a great job coming off her line, and there was a couple of times that would have been nice to have, but those two are still battling it out, and I think you can see even just Claire's improvement from last year to this year, and part of that's the battle that Michelle is providing, and every day in training Michelle's getting better, and if those two keep battling, they both are really going to be great goalkeepers by the end of it. So I'm just excited that they're pushing each other in a really good way.
So is that something you can keep doing moving forward, just kind of game by game, adjusting to how the other team's playing you?
I think certainly for the next 3 games until we get into Big Tens, I think we've got to give those two the chance to fight and battle it out. I think by the time we get to Big Tens, we're going to start looking for some consistency, and that's going to be an important thing to really solidify the communication and whatnot between our back line and our goalkeeper. So certainly not something we'll keep playing with, so to speak, through the whole season.
Speaking of the back line, I know focus was kind of getting up higher and stuff. How did you like their play today?
Again, I think that our back line is playing well. Hope and Illini, I think, are organizing things well. There's a sense of composure back there this year that we didn't have. I think where we talk about getting higher, it's for our whole team to defend up higher, to get pressure on the ball and higher up the field and in our own attacking third, so that we're not always defending in there. Arizona State make that pretty tough, because anytime they had a chance, the ball was coming into our end. And I thought our back line dealt with that well, dealt with the athleticism, dealt with the pressure. There were times where Arizona State had 4 players on our back line, and we were 4 versus 4, and I thought we didn't panic. We handled that exceptionally well.
Yeah, and on the other side, on offense, Janelle got 2 goals. Allison was pretty involved. How'd you feel about that?
Again, I really was pleased, especially in the first half, with some of our possession and our attack and the kind of opportunities we were generating. It was 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 passes and lots of players involved. Brees getting in on the flank. Reagan Robichaud was extremely unselfish in the ball she played across to Allison to score that goal. I was ready for her to take her own shot, but I think she saw a lot of defenders between her and the goal and played that off, and Allison was able to tuck it in. And Janelle's a marked woman, and she's still finding ways to score goals. Great run, really, at the near post. That's one of those. It just takes a lot of heart and courage to get to the ball at that near post before everybody else does. And, you serve that ball with the expectation that a teammate's going to fight to get to the near post, and Janelle certainly met that expectation, and ball ended up in the back of the net as a result of that.
Yeah, so I noticed that Nicole, Amy, and Kara collaborated well on the left side in the second half. Is that partnerships that you hope continue to evolve?
Well, I think we're finding partnerships all over the field. I think Cara and Janelle are getting to know each other a little bit better. Brees and Amy and Cara getting knowing each other a little bit. Abby on the other side. I think we're all still learning each other offensively, but I think you saw tonight we've taken a step forward in that. Some of the combinations, some of the movement, some of the balls that we were able to play, kind of knowing where somebody is and playing a ball. We've taken a step forward in that way, and I think the more we play, the better chemistry we're going to have offensively in terms of moving in the attacking third. But tonight was certainly a step forward from that. We talked in the locker room before the game started that we've talked a lot about defense, but that this team was going to be a good attacking team, and we shouldn't forget that side of the ball, and our ball movement and our ability to be dangerous is something that we need to count on as well. And I think they took that to heart, especially, like I said, I thought we were actually better offensively in terms of moving the ball in the first half than we were in the second. Arizona State turned up the pressure, and we had to play a little bit more direct. But some of the attacking sequences that we had in the first half, I think, showed just what kind of team this can be in terms of playing good balls and being dangerous collectively.
We noticed the size out there with players like Cara and Casey Conine and stuff. Is that an advantage you think you have over a lot of other teams?
Vanessa asked me tonight, when did we get so tall? And certainly, it hasn't necessarily been, I would say, a strength of ours in the past, but we certainly have some height out now and some ability in the air. What's funny, it's not just our tall players who are good in the air. If you watched Hope Diodario tonight, she won as many balls in the air as someone like Casey Conine. We're a pretty good team in the air, and I think that helps us in terms of winning 50-50 balls and keeping that in, but also making us dangerous on restarts, whether that's a throw-in or a corner kick. And we're able to defend those restarts. They've got some good people in the air and balls flighted in, and whether it's Janelle or Alina or Casey or Hope even winning balls in the air, it's certainly not a scary thing when the ball's getting flighted into our box, and one I think that's probably scarier for other teams.
Any expectations moving ahead?
That we keep getting better. I think that's the expectations we have. We're going to start, I told them right now, recovery and getting better starts right now. We got to recover, get things going, and go at it again with the next game, trying to get even better. This team has really lofty goals, and I think they feel good about their performance tonight, but in no ways will be satisfied with it. And that's the kind of team you want. You want one that's hungry to get better. Even if they played better than they did the day before, they know that there's another level, and this team is sort of like that. They just keep wanting to get better, and as a coach, that's a joy to work with.